Hello, dear viewers. Today I'll be giving you interesting information about the formation and development of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic, which is an integral part of the Republic of Azerbaijan and one of its charming corners. The Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic is a landlocked exclave of the Republic of Azerbaijan. The region covers 5,503 square kilometers with a population of 462,716 people as of October 1st, 2021. It's bordered by Armenia to the east and north, Iran to the southwest, and Turkey to the west. It's the sole autonomous Republic of Azerbaijan, governed by its own elected legislature. The Republic, especially the capital city of Nakhchivan, has a long history dating back to about 1500 BC. The area that is now Nakhchivan became part of Safavid in the 16th century. The semi-autonomous Nakhchivan Khanate was established there in the mid-18th century. In 1828, after the last Russian-Iranian War and the Treaty of Turkmenchay, the Nakhchivan Khanate passed into Imperial Russian possession. After the invasion, the Tsarist government moved 10,000 Armenian families from Iran and Turkey to Nakhchivan and seriously changed the demographic structure of the country. An Armenian province was established in the territory of the Nakhchivan and Yerevan Khanates. After the 1917 February Revolution, Nakhchivan and its surrounding region were under the authority of the Special Transcaucasian Committee of the Russian Provisional Government and subsequently of the short-lived Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic. The Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic was dissolved in May 1918. In the fall of 1918, the Aras Turkish Republic was established in order to protect the local population from Armenian massacres and to prevent Nakhchivan from passing into foreign hands. With the help of the armed forces of the Aras Turkish Republic and as a result of the active resistance of the local population, the policy of the Dashnak government of Armenia to annex Nakhchivan was prevented. Under the terms of the Armistice of Madros, the Ottomans agreed to pull their troops out of the Transcaucasus to make way for British occupation at the close of the First World War. At the beginning of 1919, the British invaded Nakhchivan and abolished the Aras Turkish Republic. In July 1919, Armenian Dashnak military units occupied Sharur district with the help of the British. The local population had to flee to South Azerbaijan to save their lives. Soon after, the military units of the Nakhchivan National Committee expelled the military units of the Dashnaks from Nakhchivan. In July 1920, the 11th Soviet Red Army invaded and occupied the region and on July 28th declared the Nakhchivan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic with close ties to the Azerbaijan SSR. On March 16, 1921, in accordance with the results of a referendum, the Bolshevik government declared the Nakhchivan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, which went on to become an autonomous republic within the Azerbaijan Soviet Socialist Republic in 1924. The decision to make Nakhchivan a part of modern-day Azerbaijan was cemented on March 16, 1921, in the Treaty of Moscow between Soviet Russia and the newly founded Republic of Turkey. The agreement between Soviet Russia and Turkey also called for attachment of the former Sharur-Daralagezsky Uyezd, which had a solid Azeri majority, to Nakhchivan, thus allowing Turkey to share a border with the Azerbaijan SSR. This deal was reaffirmed on October 13th in the Treaty of Kars. Article 5 of the treaty stated the following: the Turkish government and the Soviet governments of Armenia and Azerbaijan are agreed that the region of Nakhchivan, within the limits specified by Annex 3 to the present treaty, constitutes an autonomous territory under the protection of Azerbaijan. So, on February 9, 1924, the Soviet Union officially established the Nakhchivan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic. Its constitution was adopted on April 18, 1926. As a constituent part of the Soviet Union, tensions lessened over the ethnic composition of Nakhchivan or any territorial claims regarding it. Instead, it became an important point of industrial production with particular emphasis on the mining of minerals such as salt. Under Soviet rule, it was once a major junction on the Moscow-Tehran railway line as well as the Baku-Yerevan railway. It also served as an important strategic area during the Cold War, sharing borders with both Turkey and Iran. Life conditions improved during Soviet times. Education and public health especially began to see some major changes. In 1913, Nakhchivan only had 2 hospitals with a total of 20 beds. The region was plagued by widespread diseases including trachoma and typhus. Malaria, which mostly came from the adjoining Aras River, brought serious harm to the region. At any one time, between 70% and 85% of Nakhchivan's population was infected with malaria, and in the region of Norashen, present-day Sharur, almost 100% were struck with the disease. This situation improved dramatically under Soviet rule. Malaria was sharply reduced and trachoma, typhus and relapsing fever were eliminated. During the Soviet era, Nakhchivan saw a great demographic shift. In 1926, 15% of the region's population was Armenian, but by 1979, this number had shrunk to 1.4%. Azeris made up 85% in 1926, but 96% in 1979. 3 factors were involved: the immigration of Armenians to the Armenian SSR, the immigration of Azeris from Armenia, and the birth rate of Azeris being higher than that of Armenians. Nakhchivan is homogeneously Azerbaijani today besides a small population of Russians. When tensions between Armenians and Azeris were reignited in the late 1980s by the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, Azerbaijan's Popular Front managed to pressure the Azerbaijan SSR government to instigate a partial railroad and air blockade against Armenia, while another reason for the disruption of rail service to Armenia were attacks of Armenian forces on the trains entering the Armenian territory from Azerbaijan, which resulted in railroad personnel refusing to enter Armenia. This effectively crippled Armenia's economy, as 85% of the cargo and goods arrived through rail traffic. Armenia closed the railroad to Nakhchivan, thereby strangling the exclave's only link to the rest of the Soviet Union. December 1989 saw unrest in Nakhchivan as its Azeri inhabitants moved to physically dismantle the Soviet border with Iran to flee the area and meet their ethnic Azeri cousins in northern Iran. This action was angrily denounced by the Soviet leadership, and the Soviet media accused the Azeris of embracing Islamic fundamentalism, although this event had nothing to do with religion. On January 20, 1990, the Supreme Soviet of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic issued a declaration stating the intention for Nakhchivan to secede from the Soviet Union to protest the Soviet Union's actions during Black January. Iranian press agency IRNA reported that upon its independence, Nakhchivan asked Turkey, Iran, and the United Nations to come to its aid. It was the first administrative area of the Soviet Union to declare independence, preceding Lithuania's declaration by only a few weeks. Subsequently, Nakhchivan was independent from Moscow and Baku, but became the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic within the newly independent Republic of Azerbaijan a year later. Heydar Aliyev, the future president of Azerbaijan, returned to his birthplace of Nakhchivan in 1919. After being ousted from his position in the Politburo by Mikhail Gorbachev in 1987. Soon after returning to Nakhchivan, Aliyev was elected to the Supreme Soviet by an overwhelming majority. Aliyev subsequently resigned from the Communist Party, and after the failed August 1991 coup against Gorbachev, he called for complete independence for Azerbaijan and denounced Ayazm Talibov for supporting the coup. In late 1991, Aliyev consolidated his power base as chairman of the Nakhchivan Supreme Soviet. Nakhchivan became a scene of conflict during the First Karabakh War. On May 4, 1992, Armenian forces shelled the district of Sadarach. The government of Nakhchivan asserted that the Armenian assault specifically targeted the site of a bridge between Turkey and Nakhchivan. Quote, "The Armenians do not react to diplomatic pressure. It's vital to speak to them in a language they understand." End quote. Nakhchivan Foreign Minister Rıza Ibadov told the TASS news agency. Speaking to the agency from the Turkish capital, Ankara, Ibadov said that Armenia's aim in the region was to seize control of Nakhchivan. According to Human Rights Watch, hostilities broke out after 3 people were killed when Armenian forces began shelling the region. The heaviest fighting took place on May 18th, when the Armenians captured Nakhchivan's exclave of Kerki, a tiny territory through which Armenia's main north-south highway passes. The exclave presently remains under Armenian control. After the fall of Shusha, the government of Azerbaijan accused Armenia of moving to take the whole of Nakhchivan. The conflict in the area caused a harsh reaction from Turkey. Turkish Prime Minister Tansu Çiller announced that any Armenian advance on the main territory of Nakhchivan would result in a declaration of war against Armenia. Russian military leaders declared that third-party intervention into the dispute could trigger a Third World War. Thousands of Turkish troops were sent to the border between Turkey and Armenia in early September. Russian military forces in Armenia countered their movements by increasing troop levels along the Turkish-Armenian border and bolstering defenses in a tense period where war between the two seemed inevitable. Iran also reacted to Armenia's attacks by conducting military maneuvers along its border with Nakhchivan in a move widely interpreted as a warning to Armenia. However, Armenia didn't launch any further attacks on Nakhchivan, and the presence of Russia's military warded off any possibility that Turkey might play a military role in the conflict. Armenian President Levan Ter-Petrosyan expressed his willingness to sign a cooperation treaty with Nakhchivan to end the fighting, and subsequently a ceasefire was agreed upon. After a period of political instability, the parliament of Azerbaijan turned to Heydar Aliyev and invited him to return from Nakhchivan to lead the country in 1993. Today, Nakhchivan retains its autonomy as the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic and is internationally recognized as a constituent part of Azerbaijan, governed by its own elected legislative assembly. A new constitution for Nakhchivan was approved in a referendum on November 12, 1995. The constitution was adopted by the Republic's assembly on April 28, 1998, and has been in force since January 8, 1999. However, the republic remains isolated, not only from the rest of Azerbaijan, but practically from the entire South Caucasus region. In 2007, an agreement was struck with Iran to obtain more gas exports, and a new bridge on the Aras River between the two countries was inaugurated in October 2007. The Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev and the first Vice President of Iran, Pervez Davudi, also attended the opening ceremony. As part of the ceasefire agreement, which ended the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, Armenia, in the context of all economic and transportation connections in the region to be unblocked, agreed to guarantee the security of transportation connections between the western regions of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic in order to arrange unobstructed movement of people, vehicles, and cargo in both directions. Thank you for watching the video until the end. I invite you to hit the like button of the video, share it, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click on the notification icon. Bye.